Imagine a world where money doesn't feel like a constant struggle, where the stress of bills, debts, and financial uncertainty doesn't dominate your thoughts, where provision seems to appear almost effortlessly. Picture yourself waking up every day with the assurance that resources will come to you, not because of luck, chance, or who you know, but because you have tapped into a hidden principle that governs the flow of finances. It's a law so subtle, so quietly powerful that most people go through life completely unaware of it. Yet those who discover it and learn to work with it seem to achieve results that defy explanation. Opportunities come to them, doors open at the perfect moment, and solutions to financial challenges appear almost like magic. This hidden law doesn't rely on long hours, endless hustling, or exhausting yourself to the point of burnout. It operates in the background, quietly responding to certain behaviors, habits, and ways of thinking. Think of it as the tide. When you understand the rhythm, you can position yourself perfectly to ride it, carrying yourself forward with ease instead of fighting the current and exhausting yourself. Many people spend their lives swimming against this current, believing that success requires constant struggle, not realizing that the secret to abundance lies in alignment, not effort. David Yonggi Cho observed something remarkable. There is a correlation between what people put out into the world and what they receive in return. This is not about karma in the spiritual sense, nor is it a mystical superstition. It is a principle that can be observed and applied in everyday life. When you act with intention, when you invest your energy wisely, when you plant seeds that will bear fruit, the universe, or simply the natural order of cause and effect, responds. It's about creating conditions where provision naturally follows. People who understand this law don't chase wealth desperately. Instead, they cultivate the right conditions, and wealth becomes a byproduct of their alignment with this principle. At first glance, this may sound intangible or even too abstract. How do you measure a law that is unseen? How do you know you are following it correctly? The answer lies in your actions, your choices, and your awareness. Every decision you make, every action you take is a form of planting. Some seeds will grow quickly, others take time to plant. Some may need to be nourished carefully, while others flourish with minimal attention. The key is consistency and awareness, knowing that your efforts are part of a larger process that has its own natural rhythm. Cho noted that when individuals understand this, they stop chasing after short-term gains and instead focus on creating long-term structures and habits that allow provision to flow. Consider the idea of unseen currents in a river. You may not be able to see the flow beneath the surface, but it carries everything along in its path. If you place yourself in alignment with the current, the river supports you, moving you forward with minimal effort. If you resist it, you expend energy, struggle, and may achieve little despite all your effort. This is exactly how the hidden law of finances operates. It's not about luck or magical thinking. It's about understanding the flow of opportunity, recognizing, positioning yourself to benefit from it. Those who master this law don't work harder. They work strategically, observing the natural patterns of provision and acting in harmony with them. Another important aspect is perspective. Most people view money as something that must be earned through sheer force, as if life is a zero-sum game where every gain comes at the expense of effort or someone else's loss. The hidden law reveals that abundance is not limited. Provision does not run out when shared, and opportunities are not finite. Understanding this principle changes how you approach money, resources, and life itself. You begin to see that your actions create ripple effects. A single act of intentionality, a thoughtful decision, or a strategic investment in yourself, others can multiply in ways you may never have imagined. Cho's observations emphasize patience and trust in the process. Unlike instant success schemes or risky shortcuts, this law requires a steady, disciplined approach. It is about planting seeds that may take months or even years to bear fruit, yet knowing that with careful cultivation It's about understanding timing. The hidden law responds not to frantic action, but to consistent, aligned action. People who grasp this concept often describe their financial journey as almost effortless, yet it is actually the result of years of disciplined alignment with this principle. Finally, it's important to understand that this law is universally applicable. It works for anyone willing to observe it. Learn it and apply it. It does not favor the wealthy or the connected. It does not require extraordinary talent or genius. Its power lies in its subtlety and its consistency. When applied, it transforms ordinary effort into extraordinary results, turning scarcity into abundance and struggle into ease. Those who discover it experience a sense of freedom that goes beyond financial gain. They gain confidence, clarity, and a sense of mastery over the way life unfolds. This hidden law is waiting quietly for recognition. It does not demand attention, yet when noticed, it can completely transform the trajectory of your finances, your opportunities, and your... It is not taught in schools, it is not explained in textbooks, yet it has the power to take ordinary people and place them on a path where provision flows naturally, effortlessly, and consistently as if guided by an unseen. Understanding it changes everything, not because of magic, but because it reveals the true nature of cause and effect, intention and action, patience and... The hidden law of finances is not just about what you do, but about the energy you put out into the world and how that energy comes back. It's a principle that often goes unnoticed because it doesn't appear on bank statements or in business courses. Yet it governs the flow of opportunities and resources in ways that feel almost supernatural. At its core, this law reveals a simple truth. The actions and attitudes you consistently demonstrate determine the results you attract. It is less about chasing money or material gain, and more about aligning yourself with patterns that naturally produce abundance. Many people fail financially, not because they are unskilled or unlucky, but because they are misaligned with this principle. They put in effort without strategy, chase opportunities without awareness, and expect results without understanding the underlying currents that govern success. Think about planting a garden. You can scatter seeds carelessly across the soil, water them sporadically, and hope for the best. Or you can select the seeds carefully, nurture them consistently, and position them in the right environment to thrive. The difference between these approaches mirrors how people handle their finances and opportunities. Those who understand the hidden law focus on quality over quantity. They invest in actions and relationships that will bear lasting fruit. They recognize that every decision, every interaction, every investment of time or money is like planting a seed. And just like a seed needs the right environment to grow, your efforts need alignment with this law to produce the results you desire. What makes this principle truly revolutionary is the concept of invisible return. The effort you put out often doesn't yield immediate results, yet it quietly builds momentum. Cho observed that people who trusted the process, who acted with intention and patience, saw results appear in ways that seem unexpected or even miraculous. Jobs, contracts, partnerships, and opportunities often arrive without the frantic chase most people expect. It's not luck. It's the natural consequence of creating conditions where success can... The key is not to force outcomes, but to consistently sow the right seeds and trust that the hidden forces in play will amplify them. This requires discipline, awareness, and a long-term perspective that many overlook in a world obsessed with instant gratification. Another critical aspect of this law is the mindset of abundance. Most people approach finances as a game of scarcity, believing that resources are limited and that every gain comes at someone else's expense. The hidden law challenges this perspective entirely. Provision is not a finite resource. It multiplies in response to intelligent intentional action. When you create value, nurture relationships, and contribute meaningfully, the universe or the natural system of opportunities responds. Cho noticed that those who embrace this mindset experience breakthroughs far beyond what logic or effort alone could explain. Money, opportunities, and solutions seem to arrive in perfect timing, almost as if the environment was cooperating with their vision. The law also emphasizes the importance of strategic action. It is not enough to act randomly or without purpose. You must understand the patterns that govern your environment, identify where resources are flowing, and position yourself accordingly. This is the difference between effort. Effort alone may exhaust you, but strategic alignment amplifies the impact of every action. People who grasp this law often describe it as a rhythm. They move in harmony with unseen currents, taking steps feel effortless yet yield extraordinary. The rhythm comes from awareness, observation, and the willingness to act in ways that maximize the natural flow of provision rather than resist. Consistency is another cornerstone. Small disciplined actions over time produce results that can far exceed the impact of sporadic high-intensity effort. Just like compounding interest in finance, the hidden law rewards those who cultivate habits, invest steadily, and maintain focus on long-term growth rather than immediate reward. Cho observed that those who master this approach rarely faced complete failure. They experienced setbacks, of course, but their alignment with the principle allowed them to recover quickly and continue progressing. The law amplifies persistence, patience, and strategic effort in a way that transforms ordinary people into individuals capable of extraordinary financial and life outcomes. There's also a powerful relational component to this law. Opportunities often arrive through networks, partnerships, and collaborations. Those who operate in alignment with the hidden principle cultivate connections that are mutually beneficial, grounded in integrity, value creation, and trust. When you create value for others without demanding immediate return, you activate a dynamic where opportunities and provision naturally gravitate toward. Cho noticed that individuals who embraced this dynamic often found doors opening when no doors had existed before, and solutions appearing before problems became critical. This is not magic. It is the natural response of a system attuned to intelligence, intention, and contribution. Perhaps the most empowering part of understanding this law is that it levels the playing field. You don't need inherited wealth, influential connections, or extraordinary luck to benefit. What you do need is awareness, deliberate action, and the patience to work with natural patterns rather than against them. The law is universal, impartial, and in effect, waiting for those willing to recognize and work with it. It rewards alignment, preparation, and conscious effort, making success accessible to anyone who is willing to learn, adapt, and act strategic. In essence, this hidden law teaches that wealth, opportunity, and provision are not random or exclusive. They are the product of alignment, awareness, and intentional. When you understand and apply it, you stop struggling against circumstances and begin creating conditions where abundance flows naturally. You gain clarity in decision-making, confidence in your actions, and a sense of control over the trajectory of your life. This law doesn't guarantee instant results, but it offers something far more valuable. A framework for consistent, sustainable success, a principle that transforms effort into leverage, scarcity into abundance, and ordinary potential into extraordinary reality. Wealth is not just a number in a bank account. It is not solely the result of hard work, long hours, or relentless effort. True financial mastery, the kind that creates freedom and security, comes from understanding that money is a reflection of alignment, strategy, and awareness. David Yonggi Cho's observations reveal that those who unlock this hidden law of finances stop working harder and start working smart. They learn to tap into a rhythm, a natural current of opportunity and provision. Where effort is amplified, resources multiply, and results often exceed expectations. It is not magic. It is mastery of a principle that has always been at work, quietly rewarding those who understand it and follow its patterns. At the heart of this law is the idea that what you consistently focus on, cultivate, and invest in will grow. Think of it as a compass. If your attention and energy are directed toward creating value, seeking solutions, and building structure toward growth, provision will naturally flow toward you. People who fail financially often treat money as a commodity to chase rather than a principle to engage. They focus solely on short-term gains, quick fixes, or reactive measures, unaware that true abundance is generated by proactive strategic alignment. Cho noticed that those who took time to understand this law shifted their approach from frantic pursuit to deliberate creation. And as a result, opportunities began to appear in ways that felt almost effortless. This law also teaches the importance of intentional giving and contribution. One of the most overlooked aspects of wealth creation is that resources expand when they are shared intelligently. Giving does not deplete. It activates the natural flow of return. People who grasp this principle understand that when they invest in others, when they contribute value without immediate expectation, they open channels for provision to return in multiple forms, sometimes in ways that exceed their original investment. Cho emphasized that this is not a simple transaction. It is a dynamic process where energy, intention, and action interact to generate exponential. By consistently creating value for others, you set into motion a chain reaction of opportunities, connections, and breakthroughs that directly benefit your financial landscape. Timing and patience are crucial elements. The hidden law of finances rewards those who understand that results rarely appear instantaneously. Like a seed planted in fertile soil, provision grows beneath the surface long before it becomes visible. People who master this principle learn to trust the process, recognizing that delayed results are often a sign of deeper, more sustainable growth. Cho observed that impatience is the enemy of abundance. Those who attempt to force outcomes often exhaust their resources and miss the natural unfolding of opportunity. In contrast, those who align with the rhythm of the law allow growth to happen organically, taking consistent steps, nurturing their efforts, and remaining vigilant for the moment when vision will manifest. Another key factor is mindset. Wealth is as much psychological as it is practical. People who struggle financially often operate from a mindset of limitation, fear, or comparison, which clouds judgment and restricts potential. In contrast, those who apply this law cultivate an abundance mindset, understanding that opportunities are not finite and that provision expands in response to intelligent action. Cho observed that individuals with this mindset not only attract resources but also recognize them when they appear. They are prepared to act decisively, seize opportunities, and maximize the benefits of circumstances that others might overlook. Mindset shapes perception, and perception shapes the reality of financial flow. Strategic alignment is another powerful aspect of this law. It is not enough to work hard or simply hope for good outcomes. You must position yourself where the current of opportunity is strongest, making informed decisions that amplify the impact of your action. Cho noted that people who mastered this principle did not rely on luck or chance. They relied on understanding patterns, observing trends, and taking deliberate steps in the direction of growth. Strategic alignment transforms ordinary effort into leverage, allowing a single action to create multiple benefits. It turns small initiatives into large-scale outcomes, and it converts effort that might otherwise feel wasted into tangible results. This law also emphasizes the interconnectedness of action, intention, and consequence. Every choice you make, financial, personal, professional, creates ripples that affect the flow of provision in your life. Cho observed that individuals who became aware of this dynamic began to take responsibility for their financial environment in a new way. They recognized that the hidden law is impartial. It responds predictably to consistent effort, intelligent alignment with opportunity. By consciously shaping their behaviors, priorities, and focus, they became architects of their own financial destiny rather than passive participants in circumstance. Finally, the law teaches resilience and adaptability. Even when setbacks occur, those who understand this principle are able to recover, adapt, and redirect their efforts without losing momentum. Provision is rarely linear, and the path to financial mastery is filled with challenges and unexpected changes. Cho observed that those who embrace the hidden law saw obstacles not as failures, but as indicators for course correction, opportunities to refine strategy, and moments to reinforce alignment. This perspective transforms challenges into stepping stones, allowing individuals to maintain forward motion while others falter. In essence, this law reveals that wealth is not merely a result of effort. It is a reflection of strategic action, awareness, alignment, and mindset. When applied consistently, it creates a life where provision flows naturally, where opportunities arise in perfect timing, and where success is not forced but allowed to emerge. Cho's untaught secret was not a method to chase money. It was a principle to engage with, a law that, once understood and respected, transforms ordinary effort into extraordinary results. By learning to operate within this rhythm, by cultivating awareness, patience, and strategic action, Anyone can tap into a flow of provision that is reliable, abundant, and far-reaching. Now let me ask you something. What if everything you've been chasing, the security, the comfort, the financial freedom, has been closer than you think? What if the secret to unlocking it isn't found in working harder, in endless hustle, or in luck, but in understanding a law that has quietly been governing the flow of resources all along? Imagine for a moment that your life is like a garden. You've been planting seeds, watering some, neglecting others, and hoping for the best. But what if I told you there's a hidden pattern to growth? What if I told you that the seeds you plant today with intention and strategy could multiply beyond your wildest imagination? Think about it. How many times have you worked tirelessly, only to feel like the results were barely noticeable? How often have you wondered why someone else seems to attract opportunities effortlessly while you struggle? The difference isn't talent, luck, or circumstance. It's alignment, it's awareness. It's understanding that the universe, or the natural flow of cause and effect, rewards those who move in harmony with it. And here's the most exciting part. This is not reserved for a select few. This principle is available to anyone willing to learn it, to trust it, and to apply it consistently. Picture yourself standing at the edge of a river. The current is invisible, yet powerful. You have two choices. You can fight it, rush against it with all your strength, exhausting yourself while making little progress. Or you can align yourself with it, position your boat correctly, and let the current carry you forward with ease. Most people spend their lives swimming against the current, exhausted, frustrated, and wondering why life feels so hard. But those who understand the hidden law of finances learn to move with the current, not against it. They understand that provision, opportunity, and abundance are not chaotic. They follow a rhythm, a pattern, a principle that can be observed, learned, and leveraged. Let me share something crucial. The energy you put out matters. Every thought, every decision, every action sends a signal into the world. Are you acting from fear, scarcity, or desperation? Or are you acting from clarity, intention, and confidence? Those who apply this law intentionally see doors open in ways that seem almost miraculous. They don't chase money, they create value. They don't react to circumstances, they shape them. And they don't wait for opportunity. They prepare themselves to recognize and seize it when it appears. Now, I want you to picture something even more powerful. Imagine your life 5 years from now if you truly understood this law and applied it daily. Imagine waking up knowing that provision will come, not because of luck, but because you have positioned yourself in alignment with the natural flow of opportunity. Imagine making decisions with confidence because you trust the rhythm of growth. Imagine challenges coming your way, and instead of panicking, you see them as signals, as opportunities to adjust and strengthen your strategy. That is the power of it. Doesn't just change your finances. It transforms your mindset, your habits, and the trajectory of your life. Listen closely. This is not about magic or shortcuts. This is about strategy, consistency, and patience. This is about understanding that wealth, opportunity, and success are reflections of alignment, intention, and contribution. So observe that those who grasped these principles stopped working harder and started working smarter. They invested in what mattered, they nurtured what had potential, and they trusted the process even when the results weren't immediately visible. And eventually the seeds they planted multiplied, and provision flowed in ways that seemed almost supernatural. I want you to hear this like never before. You are capable of this too. You have the ability to shift your focus, change your habits, and align yourself with the hidden law of finance. You can move from struggling to thriving. You can create systems in your life that allow resources to flow naturally. You can position yourself where opportunities are abundant, where effort is amplified, and where your potential is fully. The only thing standing between you and this reality is action. Consistent, intentional action rooted in understanding this principle. So here's my challenge to you today. Start seeing your life as a garden, a river, a system that responds to alignment and intention. Plant seeds carefully. Nurture them consistently. Recognize the patterns that guide growth. Trust in the process, even when the results are invisible. Give generously, contribute value, and act strategic. And above all, cultivate a mindset of abundance, because the way you perceive the world directly influences the flow of provision into your life. Remember this, the law doesn't sleep. It is impartial, consistent, and waiting for you to pay attention, waiting for you to act with intention, waiting for you to align yourself with its rhythm. The moment you do, you begin to notice subtle shifts, opportunities appearing, challenges transforming into lessons, resources arriving in an unexpected way. And before long, what once seemed impossible will become your reality. So ask yourself, are you ready to stop struggling against the current? Are you ready to stop chasing and start aligning? Are you ready to understand the hidden law of finances and apply it in your life consistently, strategically, and with confidence? Because the truth is, provision has been waiting for you all along. The hidden law is real. The rhythm is real. And your opportunity to step into a life of abundance is right now, right here. Take that first step today. Align your actions with intention, your energy with purpose, and your mindset with abundance. The river is flowing, the seeds are ready to, and the life you've been imagining is closer than you think.